Yeah, it was an interesting year, that's for sure. A lot of ups and downs. I think based on some of the stuff we were able to achieve in the regular season, I would say it was a successful regular season. A lot of competitive teams in the Western Conference. One of the closest races I've ever seen. Although I've only been here 26 years, I haven't been watching, as long as some people. But I can't remember a time where the 3 seed separated basically a game and a half from the 8 and 9 seed throughout most of the season, even down the stretch. And obviously, we didn't achieve what we wanted to in the playoffs. Getting swept by New Orleans, who was a lower seed than us. But from a regular season standpoint, I think they were like a game behind us, basically a game between 3 and 6 or 3 and 7. But no excuses. We didn't perform the way we would have liked, but overall, I think we accomplished some things in the regular season and have to work harder to get better for the postseason.
What do you think happened in the playoff series?
They played better than us. They executed better. They hit bigger shots down the stretch than we did. They were able to get more stops. A little bit of everything. I think in the first couple of games, just a couple possessions here or there, we could have executed a little bit better, but we didn't. Maybe it was turnovers. Maybe it was missed free throws. Maybe it was missed box outs, loose balls. There was a lot of things, throughout the game that cost us down the stretch of the fourth quarters, when it was a 1 point game or 2 point game with 2 minutes and 30 seconds left. And then game 3 they blew us out, and then game 4 was competitive, but we had gave up so much ground, giving up home court. It was too hard to overcome.
Have you met with Neil and Terry yet?
No, I haven't.
Do you have anything you want to say to them, or is it more of a listening session for you?
I think it'll be an interactive conversation. They give me feedback, I give them feedback, sort of thing, and then we just kind of figure out the next steps from here in terms of how to get better this summer, individually and collectively as a team.
What do you think this team is missing?
I don't even know. I haven't really taken the time to kind of analyze and process all those things. Just getting back from last night and still haven't watched the game and things of that nature. But my job is to perform and be ready to play and try to help the team win. And their job is to handle the rest.
CJ, you've been in the league now for a while, and when you have such a great season like that, and then the playoffs just end, how hard is it for you to just step back and move on?
It's hard. The game is a part of your life every day, whether that be practice, working out, rehab, prehab, doing things to try to keep your body in shape and ready to perform, and then it just ends abruptly right away, and you have to kind of take a step back, figure out what elements you have on your body, how to get those better, and figure out your summer plan and how you want to improve. And it's just like a whirlwind of emotions, and physically you're exhausted, mentally you're drained, and you go through that stuff, and then you turn the page and try to figure out how to get your rest and get your work in for the next season.
Is there something you want to work on this summer with the game?
There's a lot of things I want to improve on, but I haven't. I'll fly to LA, talk to my agent, sit down and go through some stuff, figure out the summer plan, and do some blood testing for food sensitivity and stuff like that for the summer and heading into the season. And then we'll work on everything as I always do, try to improve the conditioning, continue to tighten up my back and core, lower body strength, defensively continue to figure out angles and ways to improve, breaking down defensive pick and rolls, breaking down off-ball stuff, and trying to figure out ways to better understand the NBA game, better understand coverages, and how to be better for our team. And then offensively, continuing to work on my game, angles, continue to try to slow things down and improve in every aspect. But we'll go through that in the next couple of days, and then get the trainers ready, and then we'll get to work.
You look back on this season, CJ, what will you remember most?
I think you just remember the roller coaster of emotions. You remember the six game losing streaks at home. You remember getting swept. You remember losing home court, and then you try to look at the positives of the season. The fact that we were up and down, but we had a 13-game winning streak in March. Guys stepped up. A lot of players, assumed roles that they didn't have in past years and performed well, like Shabazz and Pat and ED played well coming off injury. And Chief had some very bright moments and stepped up. Nurk had some bright moments, and Dame as well. And just try to look at the positives and the negatives and I'm always as real as possible, try to be a realist, figure out how I can improve to help the team and figure out, some of the things I could have done differently throughout this season. You look at like the Milwaukee loss or the Sacramento loss or the Brooklyn loss and stuff like that. Usually sticks with you. And then you look at, bright spots, the win against Golden State before All-Star break to kind of get things started, come back against the Wizards, being down 17, come back against the Suns on the road. You look at stuff like that and, you realize it was a long, long season, a lot of months. And I played 81, would have liked to play 82, but some things happen. But overall, I think it was a good year. We went through a lot of adversity, went through a lot of lulls, a lot of stressful moments, but that's life.
You mentioned the blood test for food sensitivity. How long have you been doing that, and what does that entail?
We've done it here as a team, the last few years, but my agent has a doctor he wants me to see out there, so that's why he gets paid the big bucks, to find other ways to help me improve my game, to help me stay sharp. And I don't usually diet in the summer until it gets closer to the season, but I think I'm going to try some new stuff this year to see what happens.
CJ, obviously you read everything and you pay attention to most things that are written about you. What is your reaction to the narrative that you and Dame can't take this team to the next level together, that you guys have to be broken up?
Yeah, I think, for one, people have to write about something. So I think that's a good narrative to find when you get swept and you lose a lot of games in the playoffs. But you have to be realistic. We lost to the best team in the NBA the last 2 years. The 73-win team, as Dame said before, a 73-win team, and a team who lost, one game? They lost one game in the playoffs that year. So if that's the case, the other 15 teams need to do some serious changes as well. Not just with their backup, but with their team. Since we need to change, I think everybody should try to figure out ways to improve. But winning 49 games was great. We would have liked to achieve more in the postseason. We didn't. That's the reality. But I think a lot of other teams in the league would like to, have 5 straight trips to the playoffs. Would like to be competitive, against some of the top tier teams in the NBA, and would like to be in the postseason. Would like to advance in the postseason, but it doesn't happen that way all the time. So obviously we need to improve. We need to figure out ways to get better. But I don't necessarily think that it's right to just want to make those type of drastic changes. But everybody has the right to their own opinion, and you have to respect it. You don't have to agree with it, but you have to respect people's opinions.
Was this year different for you because maybe you weren't expected to win those games against the Warriors, but this year you go in as a higher seed, you have a better record, those type of things?
I didn't approach it any differently than I approach every season the same way. Try to get better, be aggressive, attack, try to help the team win. I think our mindset was that we wanted to advance. We wanted to get further in the playoffs. We wanted to improve on what we've done in past years, and it didn't happen. Whether we were a 3 seed or a 6 seed, I feel like it's looked at as a failed season because we had home court advantage and lost both games. But regardless of if we would have been a 7 seed and got swept or a 3 seed and got swept, you don't ever want to get swept. You want to advance in the playoffs, and we have internal goals. And as I always say, the expectations I have for myself are greater than anything anybody else can expect of me, because I know how much I love this game. I know how much time I put into it, how much sacrifice I give to it every day. So my expectations for myself are high. My expectations for this team are high and will continue to be. And regardless of how it finishes, I can live with failing. I can live with losing, because I know I put my heart and soul into this game, and I did everything in my power to prepare, so I can deal with the result.
How would you evaluate Terry's job as a coach?
I think he's done a terrific job. He's gotten us better offensively. He's gotten us better defensively. He gives us freedom. He's challenged guys. He's allowed guys to develop and get better and show things they may not have been able to show on certain teams. When you look at a guy like Chief, for example, coming into the league, he wasn't known as a shooter. He's improved his shooting, he's improved his ball handling, he's improved his finishing around the basket. And that's a testament to our staff. That's also a testament to Chief, obviously. But, how many guys do you see make those type of improvements, 6+ years into the league? And usually you get put into a box after 3, and you're not able to develop. You're not able to shoot. If you can't, consistently knock down certain shots or do certain things, they don't allow you to even experiment with it. For them to allow him to work on his game, and I think he shot close to 40%. and he can guard 1 through 5. He showed a lot of stuff this season, and that's a testament to him and our staff. And you look at the development of Baz, the development of Pat, myself. Everyone's continuing to get better at Davis. Even Myers, when Myers played, I think a lot of guys showed, what they're capable of. Wade Baldwin. Obviously, the players are working individually, but it's a credit to our staff and Coach Terry for putting them in position to succeed and, entrusting guys, allowing them to grow, allowing them to make, mistakes and play through them. So I think he's done a terrific job with what he's been given.
Okay, well, thanks, CJ.
Thanks.
Thanks, CJ.